Marc Bergevin's contract status. That's a very big cloud looming over the Montreal Canadiens. I'm sure you've all seen the report that's kind of gone around from the New York Post, Larry Brooks, saying, don't be surprised if there's any links between Marc Bergevin and the Los Angeles Kings. Luc Robitaille is the president of that organization right now. Do you think Marc Bergevin will be general manager for the Montreal Canadiens beyond this year? Do you see a contract being negotiated? I know they say they're not going to negotiate during the season, but do you think a change of heart could happen? How much of a distraction is all of this for the team?
I don't see him as a GM for next year. I think he has something else going on. Otherwise, he would have signed it probably during the summer. And he's got some other things out there. He's not letting anybody know about it, but I really believe that he's on the move. Is it a distraction? I don't believe it's a real distraction. I would find it more concerning if your coach had 1 year left on his contract, because I know that a lot of players feel that, okay, the coach is on the hot seat if he only has 1 year, and it's very easy for the players to underperform when they see that type of setting. But as a GM, it's I don't think it's a big deal. They have the players in place right now under contract, and whatever Bergevin decides, it's his personal choice. But I think that the discussions have gone on, and I think that he's looking elsewhere.
Marc Bergevin in Los Angeles. Well, could that be tampering? No, there's no tampering. Nothing like that could ever happen. There would have been no contact. So I don't know where any of that comes from. Rick's right. I mean, this is not for the players. This is, they're set. Their futures are locked in, at least for this year. They have other things to worry about, notably how they are playing. It's noise around the city, and it's big noise, and it should be, because say we're now heading into February and now into March. If Marc Bergevin is indeed the lame duck general manager, do you let him make trades at the trade deadline? Do you let him establish the future of this team, at least in the short term, by making trades? You let him sign a long-term contract with Suzuki. Fine. I think most people thought that was a pretty good deal because they see a kind of Patrice Bergeron player down the road in Nick Suzuki, and that's fine. But if Bergevin isn't going to be back, and now we're on the backside of winter and we're heading into the trade deadline, is he the guy you want pulling the trigger?
Yeah, you can just almost picture Marc Bergevin on the beach in LA with the bulging biceps and the tattoos, and you could fit out there. But I think it is becoming a distraction. If the Canadiens didn't start the season 0-4, there'd be less talk about it. But I think it's going to become more of a distraction moving forward. And I think Jeff Molson has to come out and say something at this point.
What can he say, Stu?
That either we've offered a contract, or it just seems it's such a, that's a good question too, but it's something, because there's so much speculation going on right now and I think it's just going to heat up as things go forward also. I think Marc Bergevin, as I've mentioned on previous shows, we watched them age before our eyes last year during the Canadiens regular season and the playoff run, and he had to fire Claude Julien and Kirk Muller, guys that I'm sure it wasn't easy for him to make that decision. And I think it took a toll on him. And, maybe the life in LA with less of a spotlight and better weather and everything else and beaches would be very appealing to him right now, if that's something that he's thinking about. And as Mike said, do you want him making trades moving forward if maybe his future is somewhere else? So I think Jeff Molson has to do something to resolve this, and whether it's come out and say something or just say we're in the process of finding the next general manager, because I think that might be what's going on. I'm thinking Bergevin might be going through this year, and maybe he's helping find the next guy. It's a limited field because the GM has to speak both languages, and there's not a lot of people out there. So it's a story that is going to continue all season, and if the games keep losing, it's going to become even a bigger story.
Does Scott Mellanby speak French? The AGM? Montreal native?
No.
No, huh?
No.
Because I know people names are thrown out like Mathieu Darche, for example, right? But just considering the fact that Scott Mellanby has been there and has been part of that regime for a minute, I was always wondering why his name was not thrown out. But if you can't speak French, then if they're going with that qualification, then I guess that kind of hurts his chances, I guess, of being general manager. But that is kind of jumping ahead. We don't know if Marc Bergevin will be back. We don't know if he'll stay. We may end up discussing this later on, though.
If he was going to be back, I think he would have signed up by now, I think.
I agree with that as well. Let us know in the comment section what you think Marc Bergevin's future will be with the Montreal Canadiens. Or maybe it will be the Los Angeles Kings. Maybe him and Phillip Deneau will be together on the beach. I don't know. Who knows? Subscribe also to the YouTube page as well. Subscribe to our newsletter, the Hockey Inside Out newsletter, and visit hockeyinsideout.com to listen to our full episode.